Welcome to Up the Stock Market Learning. The beginning is most important. In this video, we are going to explain you the responses of Adani Group to Hindenburg Research Report in detail. Video has been divided into the two parts. In part A, we are going to explain the Adani Group organization structure and their activities as per the Adani Group report. In part 2, we are going to explain you the 413 pages responses of Adani Group on those 88 allegations raised by Hindenburg Research Report. Before proceeding further, the content provided in this video is solely for educational purpose only. Let's start with part A of the video. Point number 1, Adani Portfolio presences and the business expansion. Adani Portfolio operates in four broad verticals. The first two verticals are energy and utility verticals, transport and the logistic vertical, which together form the infrastructure sector businesses of Adani Portfolio. The businesses are fully integrated in their respective sectors and presence across the entire value chain. The third vertical is primary industry vertical, which feeds off the strength of the portfolio across the energy and the utility verticals and the transport and the logistic vertical. For example, the cement manufacturing businesses has significant adherence to the power, energy, resources, and the logistic businesses of the portfolio. The fourth vertical is the direct to consumer, which includes the consumer businesses such as Adani Digital Labs and the Adani Wilmar Limited. The businesses operate on a simple yield, robust, and a repeated business model focused on the development and the originations, operations, management, and the capital management plan. Point number 2, portfolio credit highlights. Table summarizing the key financial metrics and the ratio for Adani portfolio companies. Adani portfolio companies have successfully and repetitively executed an industry betting expansion plan over the past decade. As per the Adani Group, the earning before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization, EBITDA include the other income and is as per the number reported in audit financial. While doing so, the company have consistently delivered with the portfolio, the net debt to the EBITDA ratio coming down from 7.6x to 3.2x. EBITDA has grown 22% CAGR in the last 9 years, and the debt has only grown by 11% CAGR during the same period. The leveraged ratio of Adani portfolio companies continue to be healthy and are in line with the industry benchmark of the respective sector. Over the last 10 years, the company have actively worked to improve the debt matrix through the capital management strategy. The Adani portfolio companies have a full-fledged capital management plan which has all credit metrics inbuilt. The capital management plan of the company are set in a manner to automatically pushing it for the deleveraging path. Point number 3, equity injections in the Adani portfolio. Adani portfolio has raised 16 billion USD equity under a systematic capital management plan for all the portfolio companies over the last 3 years as a combinations of primary, secondary and the committed equity from the Mercury's investors like the Total Energies, IHQ, QIA and the Warburg, Pincus etc. In the promoter gross pledge position, this has also resulted in the deleveraging of the promoter's level debt, allowing the reduction in the promoter's stake pledge in the listed companies. The equity contribution includes the platform level investment made by IHC across three of its portfolio companies, totaling of 2 billion USD, which was settled in May 2022. Total Energy, one of the largest energy player in the world, with presence across 130 countries, has strategical alliance with the Adani portfolio across its four vertical, with committed investment of 7.3 billion USD over the past 3 years. Over the past 3 years, the Adani portfolio has raised 3.23 billion USD capital, which is split into the 8.3 billion USD in debt capital management, 8 billion USD in go to market facilities, and the 16 billion USD in the equity capital program, which is the largest program by any group in India. Point number four, the banking relationship. The portfolio has developed deep domestic and the international banking relationship. This has strengthened to diverse funding sources and structure. Adani portfolio companies have demonstrated successful syndications of banking transactions, resulting in de-risking of the bank in volatile market. Point number five, environment, social, and the governance highlights. Adani portfolio companies are fully committed to the ESG, that is, environment, social, and the governance aspect, and have a robust ESG framework and the glide path in the place, which is focused on the assurance framework. Additionally, Adani Group have improved the governance standard to align it with the global best practices. Adani Group have already constituted a corporate responsibility committee in all of the portfolio companies, which does the review of the ESG progress and the frameworks aligned with the progress of the same. This is the small summary of the ESG credentials and the environmental committees of the Adani portfolios company. Point number six, social responsibility initiatives, Adani Foundation. Growth with goodness is embedded in the culture of Adani portfolio. It is about to the real impact which can create, touch the life, nourishes the community, and inspire for the future indoors. Focuses on creating the viable livelihood for the people in general and the special towards the upliftment of women by providing them the platform for sustainable growth. Adani Foundation is the delivery partner for the various Adani portfolio companies to deliver the social enterprises. Adani Group have created women-led social enterprises in the interior of the country. Adani Group platform is touching, transforming and uplifting 3.7 million lives across more than 240 villages communities in close to 20 states of India. The women entrepreneurs have developed the Clean for You brand with support from Adani and run it in most professional way. Not only they provide the excellent services to household and offices, but they employ the local women to get the job done. The local home growth brand like Seva, safe to eat vegetable for all homes, focus on running the kitchen garden projects for the community through the scientific and the organic farming. In part B, we are going to explain you the 413 pages responses of Adani Group on those 88 allegations raised by Hindenburg Research Report. We will show you the allegation as per the number and the common responses given by the Adani Group in the release note. If you want to see what allegation has been raised by the Hindenburg Research Report, then you can pause the video and read the allegation as per the number and proceed further. Set A has disclosed, discredited, and disapproved allegations on Adani Group. Let's see how Adani Group has common responded on the allegation 1, 72, 73, and 2. Each of the above matters are closed and dismissed in company's favor. Further, these have been disclosed by company in the public domain and all company stakeholders are aware of the same. This have been cited solely in an attempt to further the narrative of lies. Lastly, none of these disapproved allegations have any relevance in relation to the promotion of Mr. Samir Vora. Let's see how Adani Group have commonly responded on allegations 3. There were 2 DRI investigations initiated against the company in respect of over-invoicing of power imports. The first DRI investigation has been adjourned before the court and has been closed and dismissed in the company's favor, and subsequently it has been determined that there was no over-invoicing. The second DRI investigation has been decided in the company's favor, both in the lower court as well as in the appeal before a SISTA, and consequently it has been determined that there was no over-invoicing. It may also be noted that the over-invoicing allegation for the power import pertaining to the period between April 2010 till August 2014 during which period Mr. Vinod Adani was not even a director in any of the relevant Adani entities against whom such investigations were initiated and had no role in their day to day affairs. Furthermore, how Adani Group has commonly responded on allegation 27. There are no ongoing proceedings against the Adani promoter before SEBI in relation to this issue. All past cases below SEBI has been closed. These have also been duly disclosed by the company and the company stakeholders are already aware of the same. Company are neither aware of nor the company are required to be aware of any proceeding against these other entities and the individuals who are not Adani's promoter. The common responses on allegation 28, 29, and 30. The allegation in relation to the Ketan Parekh working with Adani companies are incorrect. This matter has been disposed by SEBI on 17th April 2008 and has also been duly disclosed by the company in the public domain. Common responses on allegations 31. Raising financial against the share as a collateral is a common practice globally. These loans are given by the large reputed financial institute and the bank on the back of pros credit analysis of the underlying asset in the listed company as well as the detailed assessment of the liquidity of the company stock pledges as a collateral. Further, there is a robust disclosure system in place in India wherein the listed company need to disclose their overall pledges position of share to the stock exchange from time to time. Consequently, Hindenburg narrative of alleged stock manipulation on account of pledge of shares has no basis and stem from ignorance of the security law in India. The common responses on allegation 74. The proceeding has been closed in July 2017 in company's favor. However, in the interest of governance and the transparency to all the company's stakeholders, the following are the detail of the matter. Moreover, how Adani Group has commonly responded on allegation 75, 76, 77, 78, and 79. There were two DRI investigations initiated against the company in respect of over invoicing of power equipment. The first DRI investigation has been adjourned before the court and has been closed and dismissed in the company's favor. The second DRI investigation has been decided in company's favor both by the DRI as well as in appeal before the SISTA. It has been held by the SISTA that all the import were genuine and being undertaken at the arm's length and concluded that the value decided is correct and the value is not required to be redetermined. The whistle another appeal in the respect has been preferred in November 2022 is pending. We strongly believe this will be decided in company's favor in line with decision of SISTA. The common responses on allegations 80. DRI, the Mumbai initiated an investigations again around the 40 importers of coal for import made during October 2010 to March 2016 and so far the various documents including the invoice of 32 supplier, the country of origin certificate, billing of entry, billing of leading, etc. In compliance with the DRI directions, the company has already submitted the necessary document to the regulator. No show cause notice has been issued to us till date. Said we of the baseless allegation around the transaction which are in fact compliant with law, fully disclosed and on proper commercial terms as follow. Common response on the allegation 35. All transactions entered by the company with entities whose qualify as the related party under India law and accounting standard have been duly disclosed by the company. Further, this have been carried out on arm length term in accordance with the applicable law. Further, these are also disclosed by the group are publicly available to all the regulators and companies stakeholders and have been duly verified and audited by the independent third party who are competent and have the required expertise in his respect. As stated above, the Adani portfolio companies follow a stated policy of having a global Big Six or the regional leader as a statutory auditor. Common responses on allegation 44 and the 45. The transaction related to the transfer of the cost to the specific project entity which was incorporated for the rail businesses. This transaction has been carried out in compliance with the applicable law and on arm's length terms. Let's see how the Adani Group have responded on the allegation 40, 42, 43, 46, 48, 47, 49, 50, and 51. The above side transaction with the Ronald Trade and Investor, Wakoter, Rehavar Infrastructure, Milestone Trade Line, Ardenia Trade and Investor, and the private Adani entity are not related party transaction under the law of India and accounting standard. Consequently, the company are neither aware nor required to be aware of their sources of fund. All transactions cite above between Adani listed entity and the private Adani entity, that is, Adani Estate Private Limited, Sunborn Developer Private Limited, are the related party transaction, which has been undertaken on arm length terms and the in compliance with applicable Indian laws and standard, and have also been fully disclosed are related party transaction. Common responses on allegation 41. This allegation is clearly incorrect and is due to the lack of understanding of Indian debt restructuring regulation. In any event, there is no restriction on Adani's listed entity and their subsidiaries to avail loan from the promoter's entity from time to time for their business purposes. As such loans are availed in the compliance with the relevant law are suitable disclosed as requested under the law and accounting standard. Common responses on allegation 58 and the 59. Adicorp is not a related party and the transaction with the Adicorp are not related party transaction under the laws of Indian or the accounting standard, and this have been undertaken in compliance with the applicable law. Common responses on allegation 61. Hindenburg seems to be suggested that simple because two parties are related, transaction between them cannot be for arm length consideration. Common response on allegation 60. This allegation stems from a complete lack of understanding the manner in which the businesses are carried out by the large company in this sector, which suggested that mere because they manage the infrastructure business, they cannot outsource the part work or the entire into the contract for obtaining these services from the other related party who specialize in providing the such services. It further flows from a complete lack of understanding of these complex businesses, which required the specialized services and the management, which cannot be at all the time be housed in the same corporate entities. Common responses on allegation 9. There are no business relationship or the business dealing with Mr. Jatin Mehta. Common responses on allegation 15. AmeriCorp is recognized firm that provide the secretarial services to the various entity and corporate groups from across the globe and not just Adani portfolio entities. Adani groups are not concentrated with these complete unrelated scandal that you refers to in the blanket attempt to build a false narrative around the Adani group. Hindenburg can write to AmeriCorp to seek their responses. If it is so vicious about any scandal they believe AmeriCorp is involved in. Common responses on allegation 19. Trustline is also a firm providing secretarial services to the various entity and not just the Adani portfolio, including for the incorporation companies in Mauritius and in the course of such services also act as a director in the Mauritius entity. The Trustline CEO is not the director in any of the entity in Adani portfolio. Adani Group have already responded on the DRI investigation in detail. Unfortunately, Hindenburg report seems to be include the characterization of what is the history of individual job listing on LinkedIn, which stem from a lack of understanding of law in revealed jurisdictions and of existence and work done by the independent firm providing the secretarial services in their jurisdictions. Common responses on allegation 24 and 25. The Monarch Net Worth Capital Limited was selected for their credentials and their ability to tap into the retail market. Monarch suspension that has been lured was a 1 month suspension more than a decade ago in 2011 and has no further relevance to their appointment for OFS. It may be noted that the several other bank has been subjected to similar or the lengthier suspension in the Indian market. This fact has been deliberately omitted by the Hindenburg. With nearly 3 decades of experience in the retail broking, institutional equity, investment banking, fund management, global access, and the wealth and the third party production distribution, they are an award winning broking houses and the company was also awarded with the many titles. Common responses on allegation 32 and 33. As already stated, all business transactions by the entity in the Adani portfolio are in the ordinary course of our own business, in compliance with all the applications law and having the fully disclosed as required. Common responses on allegation 53, 54, 55, 56, and the 57. In August 2017, the adjourning authority of DRI, which was the same authority who issued the showcase notice to Maharashtra Eastern Grid Power Transmission Limited and the PMC project, dealing with this issue in detail and concluded that the allegations were false, holding that all the imports were genuine and being undertaken at arm's length. The authority further concluded that the value declared is correct and is not required to be redetermined. Moving on to the common response on allegations 81. The transaction with the Pan Asia has been clearly disclosed in the financial and has the attempt to suggest that this transaction needs to be brought to the light are absurd when all the relevant stakeholders have had access to this information for almost 4 years. In any event, the tenders floated by Adani Portfolio entity have well laid out the technical and the financial qualification criteria for all the prospective bidders, and any prospective bidder who met the aforementioned condition is eligible to participate in the tender. Common responses on allegations 82. This allegation stemmed from a complete misunderstanding by the Hindenburg of the fact and what amount to the conflict of interest in the bidding documents. Hence, to clarify, no Adani company's director was a director or the shareholder in Pan Asia at the time of or even the closer to the time of when the said bidding process was carried out. Hence, there was no conflict of interest, potential or the otherwise, while dealing with the Pan Asia for this tender. The common responses on allegations 83. This loan transaction has no link to the tender. We have been informed that the loan transaction has been carried out in the compliances with the applicable law by the relevant parties. Set C. Misleading claims. Take a look how Adani Group have answered on the allegation 4, 36, 37, 38, and 39. Vinod Adani does not hold any managerial position in any Adani listed entity or their subsidiary and has no role in their day to day affairs. As such, this question has no relevance to the entitles in Adani Portfolio, and Adani Group are not in a position to comment on the Hindenburg allegations on the business dealing and the transactions of Mr. Vinod Adani. Adani Group retrieves that any transaction by Adani portfolio companies with any related party have been duly identified and disclosed as a related party transactions in compliance with Indian law and the standard. and have been carried out on arm length terms. Set D, the false suggestion based on the malicious misrepresentation of the governance practice in Adani Portfolio. Let's see how the Adani Group have responded on the allegation number 62, 63, 64, and the 65. Here again, the Hindenburg has tried to color the facts to suit their narratives and have completely misrepresented the truth in respect of the Adani Group CFOs. The truth is that the several of the CFOs that Hindenburg claim has left are in fact still the part of the organization in the various other capacities, including taking on the large or the key role as a part of the Adani Group growth stories. The Hindenburg report conveniently failed to mention that none of the resignation has ever been made pursuant to any alleged concern against any of the underlying companies. Further, each of the site resignation and the changes in CFOs have been duly disclosed from time to time as per the regulatory requirement, and this information is already available in the public domain. Moving on, set E, manipulated narrative around the unrelated third party entity. Let's see how the Adani Group have responded on the allegation number 5, 8, 10, 11, 16, 17, 18, 12, 13, 14, 20, 21. Each of the entity refers in the query above are the public shareholders in the listed company in Adani Portfolio. They are in any manner related party of the promoters are incorrect. A listed entity does not have control over who buy, sell, own the publicly traded share, or how much volume is traded, or the source of fund for such public shareholder, nor is to be required to have such information for its public shareholder under law of India. Hence, we cannot comment on trading pattern or the behavior of public shareholders. That's it for the video. You should take your time to understand all the concepts discussed in this video. Take your notes and go back from time to time to review the strategy which has been shared with you. Please subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to get all the notification for our upcoming videos. Please like the videos and provide your comments if any. If you think the comment of the video are knowledgeable, then please share this video with your colleagues and friends. Once again, thank you for watching the entire video.